on the agenda? All right, moving on.
I don't have an agenda. Sorry.
That's because you were late. We picked it up.
It's in your bottom. I'll go get it, because I can't walk. I need marks all over my agenda.
Let us know when you're ready, dude.
That's the one I took from your box.
All right, so item number 5 on the agenda is executive session. We have no items to consult, Mike.
No, sir, we do not.
All right, so we'll move on to number 6, discuss and consider any actions on the executive session. We're not having that. Now, the most important thing, the reason we're all gathered tonight is to discuss and consider approval for a mural project by Taylor Barnes on the downtown building owned by Mark Taylor, which is located at the corner of South Oak Street and West Winkler Avenue. So have some renderings. Mike, you want to walk us through your conversation with Taylor?
Mayor, council, this mural probably looks familiar because of the fact that we had initially talked about putting it on the annex building over here, the McGuire Annex Building. However, after we begin to start discussion about the discussion we'll have actually next week concerning City Hall construction as well as potential public safety building, it was determined that we probably didn't want to spend money on that mural on the McGuire Annex Building just to have it demoed months later. So I started having discussion with Taylor Barnes, who is of course the artist that created the mural over at the Public Works Building. I think it's a great piece of mural that she's drawn up and sketched out and put up there. And so we took pictures, actually the mayor took pictures of the building that you see here on in this drawing, which is of course at the corner of South Oak and West Winkler. To send to her to take a look at. Before we did that though, I did reach out to Hope Williams and talk with her. It's my understanding that she and Mark Taylor are business partners, and so she thought it was a great idea. So I called Mark Taylor. Mark Taylor had previously come to my office a couple of months ago and said he was wanting to put a mural there on that building. So after discussion with Hope, after discussion with Mark, and we sent the drawings up to Mark, and Hope had already seen them. He agreed to do it, and he said, I think this would be great to put on this mural, to put on that wall. We do have an agreement. It's a property owner consent form that he's already signed, and we will be able to get that done. Basically, it says that he's authorizing the city at the expense of the hot money, the hotel occupancy tax money, to put a mural up on that building. It'll be on the inside, which is basically facing north into that empty lot. I just want to kind of concentrate on the building right now. The agreement is that he allows us to be able to put it up there and to maintain it for a period of 10 years. Nothing would happen to it. It would stay up there unless for some reason through a mutually agreed agreement between the city and the owners of the property, there would be either type of demolition or resurface or redrawn of that mural, but it would be up there for 10 years. Unless it changes hands, and we have to now start working with the new property owners. So that's kind of what we're looking at here, that we will hold all responsibility, liability will maintain the mural. And as you know, Taylor Paints, which is the name of the company, Taylor Barnes, actually the artist. They will, once they do the painting of the mural, they do put a seal coat on it to try to keep anything from happening to it. So if we have graffiti on there, the seal coat allows us to be able to take it off pretty rapidly. It is a fairly large wall, I just want you to know. And therein lies the reason for the price being at about $74,000. But I can tell you, I think I was out there last week and looked at that wall. I think once it's up, it's gonna be beautiful. I really do believe that. Now, along that same premise, the reason we're looking at that wall is as that empty lot is there, the plan is to reach out to the property owner and maybe see about developing that property as some type of a first responder veterans memorial park. And, try to look at receiving some donations. I believe you received kind of another rendered sketch that was handed out to you. And that kind of gives you some idea of what we may be looking at, with some tables, chairs, a fountain, There's been a discussion of maybe putting like a sandcastle park in there, for, the children to be able to go out. It will begin start developing the downtown area, and it allows a little bit more traffic coming through there, because, if you got a park there, Memorial Park, along with the mural, we hope to be able to see more traffic come through there. It fits in line with the beautification project that we are looking at endeavoring in downtown redevelopment, beautification, and kind of going in that route. I think this would be a great impetus for us to begin that process and get it started, along with the discussion we will have next week on the city hall. All of that, the plan is all of that will begin to start really building up the revitalization of downtown. And so what you have before you right now is this rendered drawing. A price of it about $74,000. It's actually going to be $74,520. It'll be paid for out of the hotel occupancy tax, as you're aware. That money can only be used for certain things. And this is one of them. And if we don't spend the money there, then we can't use it on any other things. We can't use it on other projects. I can tell you that Taylor is on board, ready to start at any point in time. She's just kind of waiting for me to be able to give a response back after this meeting. And I'm available for any questions, Mayor and Council.
And we would have a 10-year contract with them, and if the building's sold, then we would have to.
We'd have to renegotiate with the property.
renegotiate that. That's my only drawback, is if that building's sold for some reason, somebody could go over and pay over $74,000.
It's entirely possible. And once it changes hands, then, unless the owners of the property can instill within the agreement to sell the property, that it be left there, not defaced for the remaining of the period, but that's got to be between the exchange of those properties.
My concern is if we don't get this property and he sells it to someone else, which is probably far, but somebody builds another building and butts up against that. That's what worries me. I love this idea.
Oh, it's a wonderful idea.
I love this idea.
I love this idea too, and especially that I could see our tree being here as we move downtown, where I don't think it'll fit really in Heritage Park, but
I agree.
yeah, those same
I agree.
concerns.
They're not, let's see, on our consent side, can't we make it in the agreement that something stating that they have to keep it or something?
Well, we can only negotiate with the current property owner.
Right.
I really don't feel like anybody is gonna mess with it. They're gonna see it on the building.
It's a pretty big step to cover up a first responder
Right,
wall
I
once,
just
once it's up.
right.
I don't
But
see that's
still,
gonna
that
be-
concerns me about, somebody building right up next to it.
To it, yeah.
And we could never stop that.
What's our budget right now for?
The initial one was 40, right at 40.
The initial was about
For
40.
annex.
How much do we have in
our
motel tax?
$1 million.
Oh, my gosh. I would probably say cash amount is probably sitting at about, probably close to 2 million. Just the reality is the largest expense that we have is current celebration days.
Is there amount of time that you have to use this money? Like if we keep it too long, they can't ever come get it?
State legislation can always change, and that's kind of what I'm afraid of in the back of my mind is they'll go back and say, oh, these people aren't using it. We're gonna allocate it to senators' travel pay or something. So
Yeah.
Especially with the state picking up the bill on so much of the school property
Property
tax,
tax,
I'm
yeah.
afraid that's where we're headed.
And I don't wanna be wasteful of hotel motel money, but $74,000, if we get a nice mural
Oh, yeah.
and in 2
I think
years,
it's
somebody
beautiful.
does build a new building down there. It was money that we potentially were gonna lose anyway. Pretty brave to cover up a mural.
How, do you know this man?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think, knowing him, that he would be, because I know he doesn't want to sell it to just anybody, Cause he's been,
He's not looking to sell it, period.
So,
right.
so to kind of fill everybody in, and I know this is a public meeting, should I say it? Mike and I are planning on making a trip to Houston, probably next week if it works into the schedules. I'm gonna just go meet with Mr. Bauer
Right.
and offer an olive branch of things that have been done in the past. I think this is a great way to say, look, we're moving forward. We hope to have you part. I'm not asking you to donate it. If you'll sell it, if you tell me kiss your rear and leave, then that's what we'll do. But sorry for what's happened in the past and your feelings, but what a great way to have the Bauer Memorial Park in downtown Kermit. And we'll see. And I don't know, but his approach right now, as far as us thinking somebody's gonna build there, he's not gonna sell a darn thing to the city of Kermit that'll help city of Kermit. He's not gonna do it. But I think the perceived wrongs that he has need to be addressed, and I think this would be a great way to say, look, this is something we would like to do to extend that olive branch and see what happens.
Mhm. Well, I mean, it's not gonna hurt to try. I mean,
No, the worst he can do is say no.
is say no.
But anyway, I think the deal tonight is to vote on the mural. Even the consent form is kind of just goes hand in hand with it, but the agenda item tonight is the mural.
Do you remember what square footage was on the mural out on 302? Because that was what, 38,000, 37,000?
No, that one was
I want to say it was like,
68,000.
It was almost the same square footage.
68.
I want to say it was around 2,000 square feet. Is that-
Okay. It's a good sized building.
And this is
Yeah.
1,800 and something.
They're not far off as far as the size.
Size, yeah.
This was much more elongated.
That's right. That's right,
I just
yeah.
think it's a beautiful honor, and as nice as it would have been on our annex building, if we have future plans to tear that down,
Mhm.
then that to me was, and that's why I asked Mike if we could look for somewhere else, because it truly was just a waste on that, if that materializes. But I think to start our downtown revitalization with Ms. Williams and Mr. Taylor agreeing to let us use that as a canvas, I think it springboards us to everything this council's been wanting to do, so.
And if I may, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I don't see Mark selling that building because he is also doing a business of cooking briskets. So he's trying to get that inside that building, a certified kitchen. And he's not gonna spend the time and effort
And the
and the money that it takes just to turn around and sell it a few years down the road.
He's had it probably 25 years, I would
He's
say.
had it a long
I
time,
mean,
yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
And I know you spoke with him in addition, Hope can probably, he was very excited when he saw this mural and what it would look like on the side of that building. So
His comment to me was if you wanted to do first responder tribute all the way around the building, he'd be all for it.
I think it ties into the courthouse, the veterans thing on the other corner.
Yeah.
It's a
Um,
good spot for it.
I think it's perfect, and it's gonna help us springboard Heritage Park. With the potential of those tables you saw, it just really is gonna bring downtown forward pretty quickly, so.
And then this.
And-
That would just. add
Yeah,
so much
that'd
more.
be the cream on top of
Yep.
the coffee, if we can get that. Yeah. I'm willing to go to Houston and visit with him, so. Anyway, so we have a agenda item to approve the mural as quoted by Taylor. If anybody wants to make a motion on that.
Mayor, Council, before you do that, if for the motion made, it would also include to be able to, allow city manager or authorize city manager to go ahead and enter any agreements with the property owners for that, and I've got an agreement for that.
So the consent agreement can be rolled into the mural project. Okay. So the agenda item will include both the cost of the mural and give city manager permission to enter into the consent agreement with Mark Taylor, owner of the building located at South Oak and West Winkler. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion. We approve the placement and development of a first responders mural on the downtown building owned by Mark Taylor located at corner of South Oak Street and West Winkler Avenue to be funded by the Hotel Occupancy Tax Fund. in the amount of $74,520, and also for the city manager to enter in an agreement with Mr. Taylor.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the mural project as presented. It includes the mural by Taylor Barnes at $74,520, and also gives the city manager authorization to enter into a consent agreement with Mr. Mark Taylor. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. And we have one more item on the agenda.
Make the motion, we adjourn.
A motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor? Any opposed? 56.